What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nerdicane. I got Cyberforce #1 here, and I got butternut squash pasta going, or pasta sauce going over there. I haven't done a cooking video in a long time. You guys didn't even like them, so I stopped doing them. I'm here to please. So this is another one of the series that was image cool back in the 90s when it came out. Where was the quality? When these books started coming out, where was the quality? Were they as good? Were they better? Were they, glorified trash? And from what I'm seeing, probably the weakest of them all has been Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. But what Youngblood lacked in fit and finish, it made up for in enthusiasm. You could not do anything without seeing Youngblood. He was excited about it, so that made the fans excited about it, and everybody was excited about it, and he made some money off of that. But this is Cyberforce #1. Now, quick note, a lot of people don't realize that the ink that Cyberforce is printed on is about 60% testosterone. They could have just called this cybernetic testosterone, the comic book. There's not a whole lot of development. There's not a whole lot of character development in this. This is Mark Silvestri, and I guess his brother, Eric Silvestri, wrote this. Mark Silvestri was like a grandfather clock. He's not to say he was old, but he was like this old style, very reliable, got his work done on time, always at a high level, always at a high quality. He was, what was he doing? I can't remember what he was doing. I think he was doing Uncanny X-Men, and then he got put on Wolverine, and his Wolverine run was just phenomenal. But he kind of broke off, and he's doing his own thing. There's not a whole lot of, there's a little bit of Claremontisms in this too, because he worked with Chris Claremont for a while. But there's not a whole lot of character development. You kind of get the names, you sort of see what their powers are, but it's just rootin', tootin', shooting, good time from the beginning. Well, not really, nobody's really shooting. So you get this, and once again, it's very Claremont-esque. It's like a dream sequence where he's seeing himself die. And then you cut to a training sequence. This is Velocity. Once again, this is another character that I was like, what are any of these people's names? And I just could not. I think this character had probably the most success. He's just a Native American take on Wolverine. But yeah, you see, and look at this. That would hold up today. That would hold up in a Comicsgate book. This is like Ethan Mescott. You can see this on a Cyberfrog. You can see this in like Starblades, and it's got a very Starblades look to it a little bit with the mechs and things like that. But this one, once again, this is a guy who was very good at his craft. He's very good at what he does, and he was on his own doing his own thing. Could have used a better writer, probably, but the artwork was there, and Cyberforce, for as long as it ran, which it didn't, I don't think it ran very long, always came out on time. It didn't have the problems that Youngblood did. That I think Wildcats had a little bit of trouble too, getting out on time, if I remember correctly. But it's a training sequence where these people who I can't remember them either don't remember. It's sort of like she's the new girl on the team. She's trying to prove herself, and he's basically the Wolverine character. He's the seasoned veteran who's just seen the horrors of what's out there. And he's trying to prepare her for it, and he's trying to weed her out at the same time, which either she's gonna, sink or swim when it comes to the military. Sink or swim, you either got it and you can hack it, or if we get you out but ahead of time, we're saving a lot of people a lot of trouble down the road. But you think it goes to a bar scene, and you think, okay, this is where they're gonna do some setup. Nope, within one page they are duking it out again. They're hitting each other with bottles. I don't even remember what these characters' names were, but this was 1991, I think, or 91 or 92. And here you see a woman going toe-to-toe with a man. It's not like, people think like, oh, Captain Marvel was this groundbreaking thing. No, we had strong women in comics long before Captain Marvel. It just came on. She's the one who got all the press, all the good press, all the glad-handing press. So that was the only difference between characters like this and Captain Marvel. But just the overall look and the overall quality of the book, it's outstanding quality. This would hold up today. Actually, this would exceed what you see from Marvel coming today. This would exceed, probably slightly exceed what you see from DC books that they care about. Like, your trash level DC books, they put whatever garbage artist they can find on there. But this is a lot better than what you see in 2020. And this came out like 30 years ago, which is kind of crazy when I think about it now. Just how long ago this came out and just how far comics have fallen in that time. But you see, they had a fight. It wasn't like, it was back and forth. In this one, if this were Captain Marvel would have just done a one-hitter quitter. If it was Miss Marvel, would have done just a one, even with Harley Quinn. But these two people, you don't raise up women by diminishing men. You put them on the same high level, and that's how you say, okay, she's not just holding him, going toe to toe with him because she's a woman. She has cybernetic enhancements too, and even in a lot of her fighting style, she's very different. She doesn't have the weight, so she doesn't have as much power. She has to use like she has to get momentum and do a double kick. Plastic straws. Somebody's gonna get arrested for having plastic straws. Those better be paper if you're gonna redo this one. Gosh, what is going on here? But once again, this was another flashback. He's having another flashback. Once again, Claremont-esque. You have another dream sequence where it leads into this crossover event. And where is it? The Killer Instinct crossover event. That was probably, as far as I can remember, I think that was the first big crossover event in early Image. So it was a very unique thing. It was a very interesting thing because, yes, they were all under the Image banner, but they each owned their own thing. If they were going to have a crossover, that would be the two creators getting together and saying, hey, we're going to have a crossover. We're going to show how cool each of our characters in our books are, and then we're going to flesh out the story from there. Whereas you do a crossover in Marvel, the editor comes to you and says, we're going to do this. And the creators have really no input in it. And another, the organic thing that you got from this is they wanted to have crossovers. I mean, think of Savage Avengers. Do you think Jerry Dugan wanted to do a crossover with that lame Empire series? No, he didn't want to do that. It was kind of forced on him. It was corporate mandated action, and it showed in the book, which I did a review on a few weeks ago. But this one, I'd give it an A-. The color, the art, everything there is just gorgeous. The action is great. The story, maybe in issue 2, maybe that's where the story was. Maybe there was issue 1.5 where the character development and the story was, but it wasn't in here. So it was fun. It was cool. It didn't have a whole lot of story, but it's just, you take 20 minutes out of your day and shut your brain off and just watch cybernetic superheroes just beat the hell out of each other. This is your book. But that's all I got for this one. You guys go have a good day. Thank you for your time. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, and have a good day. Bye.